For us as the first generation, I think it's a bit special. Students today are very much fortunate. All knowledge and learning now is available on the internet if you can use it properly. I came from a very humble background, and we didn't, have all the finance to support, studies abroad and whatnot. And I think this is still one of the best decisions I've made. For us, it's like a family. It's not just a typical school. It's actually happened because of Paragon, and for that, I still believe that it has been a very strong bridge for me.
Hello, my name is Vila, the director of Paragon Alumni Associations. We are here with the third episode of the second season of Alumni Story. You're so warm.
Sure.
Could you please introduce yourself and what are you currently doing?
Hi, my name is Sok Udom. I'm currently the Chief Operating Officer of the Paragon Education Company. This is my new role, which I've just been appointed about a few months ago. But before that, I was rector of Paragon University between 2016 and 2023.
What years and grade did you study at Paragon International Schools, formerly Zealand?
So I attended at the time Zaman International School, or now Paragon International School, in 1998. I think at the time we were in grade 8. We were the first generation to attend the school, and I graduated among the first batch in 2002.
What do you like most about Paragon International Schools, and what is the most memorable moment for you, and what are the best memories that you have shared with your friends and teachers?
For us as the first generation, I think it's a bit special compared to perhaps our later generation, in the sense that for us, the first moment we came to the school was already a special moment, because this was a time when Cambodia was still, it's very different from nowadays. There were not a lot of international schools, so Zaman was actually one of the first that was open. All of us were studying at public schools. So when I first attended the scholarship exam and received a scholarship offer, we came with my mom at the time, and it was an interesting time to actually see the school building, how there are small classrooms equipped with all facilities, and I see textbook in English, which I was quite excited to see. And also we see a lot of international as well as Cambodian teachers at the time. So from the moment we started studying, I think every day was a new experience for us, right? But if I have to choose a few moments, I would say there are memories like when we were staying at school. So at the time we had something like a program that out of about 1 month, we would spend 1 week at school, staying overnight, like a boarding school. So we would actually spend time together as a class, going through a set schedule. We study in the morning and afternoon, and we would spend evenings together eating dinner, and then we have self-study session, and then we go to bed. And the first time, like the first night that we were supposed to sleep at school, we were not going to bed, and then stay late at night, and then could not get up early in the morning and whatnot. So, and then there were other moments when I shared a lot with my teachers and friends, playing soccer and going to the provinces as part of school trip and whatnot. So these are some of my most memorable moments. Yeah.
What values do you think you acquired during the time at Paragon?
So for me, I think some of the values that have stood out, and what I have come to understand now that I reflect back, is one, the value of friendship, because for us we studied, it's very uncommon, but for us we studied in the same class from grade 8 until we graduated. So we have a very close kind of relationship with our friends, but also some of our teachers, whom I still see some today. And the value of discipline. At the time, I think when we were young, we don't probably appreciate it enough, and we probably looked at it differently. But now that I've become sort of an older adult, I have my own children and whatnot, I understand the value that was being taught to us, self-discipline, being responsible for your action, and being showing integrity in all the things that we do, etc.
So what makes our school stand out from the other schools?
So, like I said, when we attended school, Paragon at the time, it was an uncommon thing to go to private school. But for us, we were selected to study back in the late 90s, and it was a different kind of program because it's a bilingual program. So we studied everything in English in the morning and everything else in Khmer in the afternoon. So that was, for me, I still believe that it's one of the greatest advantage because you're not forgetting Khmer. You get the same kind of education that you would get in high school, public high schools, but also we got to study everything in English. So by the time we graduated from high school, as in my case, I continued my study in Turkey, which at the university that was taught 100% in English. So the things that I learned from Paragon was very useful because I can just simply continue my higher education. And in that regard, I think in terms of curriculum, it is something that is special, especially considering this was 20 years ago. And the fact that we have very close relationship with our teachers and friends outside the classroom, right? So for us, it's like a family. It's not just a typical school.
So how did the experiences at Paragon have shaped you moving from being a student to who you are today?
So yes, just like I mentioned a bit earlier, the fact that I attended Paragon served as a very strong and fundamental bridge for me, academically speaking, because I had always kind of wanted to study abroad for my higher education, and I came from a very humble background, and we didn't, have all the finance to support, studies abroad and whatnot. But by studying at Paragon for 5 years, I was eventually recommended to apply for admission to study in Turkey, and I did, and I think this is still one of the best decisions I've made. And the fact that I went on and studied at one of the best schools in Turkey and eventually got my scholarship to study my master's and PhD in the United States and in Germany is actually happened because of Paragon, and for that I still believe that it has been a very strong bridge for me.
Beside the role as a CEO, do you engage in any teachings, and since being formerly a rector of the university, have you delved yourself in research?
So I started actually working at Paragon University in 2010. At first not as a rector, I was actually a professor, and I taught many classes, including Khmer history, political science, and international relations, because that's my field. And as I became rector, I taught less and less because I was responsible for administrative work, but I continue to teach one class, which is world history, and continue to publish things related to Cambodian foreign affairs. And in September 2023, when I was promoted to Chief Operating Officer, COO of the company, I leave the administrative work at the university, but I still stay on as a professor. And right now I'm still teaching world history to undergraduate students, but I also have started teaching strategic management for MBA, for master degree students at the university as well. And I still continue to publish in fields that I'm trained to do, which is in international relations and specifically on Cambodia and Southeast Asia.
And it has been a very long time since you graduated, so how do they still maintain the contact with you?
So in my case, since my return from abroad in 2010, I have been working at Paragon institutions, especially at Paragon University. And because of the nature of my work, I've been very much in touch with the association and with the school. So, every chance that we have, every event that is organized by the Alumni Association, I have attended. And because I work at Paragon, I try to stay connected with our high school friends, and I'm kind of serving as one of the de facto link between our association and our class as well.
Last but not least, is there any advice would you give to the current students in terms of academic or life at Paragon? And what would you recommend to others who want to pursue like the path like yours?
So, I mean, we're looking at a different time, right? In my time when I graduated in 2002, there were not a lot of opportunities to, let's say, apply for scholarships abroad, or the learning environment, the technology was actually limited. But I think students today are very much fortunate. They can actually find a lot of different paths to go. But my advice would be that while they are finishing their high school, that they find out what is their passion, and that they should actually choose a major that fits their interest and passion, and open their horizon, right? So don't just follow what everyone else is doing, because the world is changing so fast, so that many opportunities arise, but we also have to understand the trend. So whatever you do, you cannot ignore, for example, digital skill, soft skills like team building and team working in a team, communication skill, and all the other soft skills, because whatever you study, at the end of the day, you actually need these skills, and so focus on that. But other than that, I would say utilize your time effectively. All knowledge and learning now is available on the internet if you can use it properly. So don't rely only on, let's say your teachers or school. Of course, the school provide you a fundamental training, but you should also learn how to learn, meaning you need to be able to do self-research, use your time effectively, and spend your time on things that are useful. Don't get distracted on things that just waste your time. So just a very simple example would be things like, let's say, TikTok as a platform actually can, depending on how you use it, can be very useful or can be completely useless on how you spend your time and what kind of content you explore, right? So I would suggest that everyone has 24 hours a day, but use your time effectively. And of course, don't forget to have fun. Not saying that you only just focus on studies and learning, but also have fun in a way that is responsible, and explore life. Yeah.
So before we let you go, what do you think about our associations, and what are your thoughts about the Paragon Alumni Association?
So I appreciate the association for actually keeping contact with every generation that we have graduated so far. So let's say last year we had the 20th anniversary with the class of 2002. And I know that the association will be doing this also every year for the next generation as well. But what I would like to see in the future would be if we can do something beyond a gathering, but engage in some networking opportunities, building platforms, building some sort of activities that allow our alum to be involved, let's say in charity or organizations, in fundraising for scholarships or for things like this. So I hope that we will be able to achieve this in the future.
Thank you so much, Dr. Udom, for your invaluable time and words of wisdom. And wish you all the best and for your future.
Thank you very much.